Hello everyone, how are you? कैसे हैं आप लोग बच्चों? Hope you people are doing fine. और सेहत कैसी है सबकी? Okay, we have completed the topic of transport in animals and we're just going to see the main topics of transport in plants now. Today we are going to just have an introduction of transport in plants. Do stay on the channel, subscribe the channel, like the channel, forward the channel, share it with your friends and tell them that they should come to this channel for very easy and basic understanding of the concepts. Very easy lectures hain, and I try to keep things very simple so that every student should get the basic idea of whatever the main concepts of biology are. After understanding the basic concepts, you can go for detailed study according to your own wish. But in this channel, you people get only the basic जो है वो introductions. ठीक है? So I try not to go into very complicated details. I try not to touch the very intricate concepts so that it can be easy for everybody to at least understand the concepts to such an extent that they can pass the biology exam easily without any kind of problem. Okay, transport in plants is what we're going to start. Transport means shifting materials from one place to another, shifting the either in the liquid state or in the gaseous state, shifting useful materials which are very, very important for the metabolic processes. In transport in plants, the main materials that have to be transported are actually minerals and digested food, and not forgetting the respiratory gases. The main processes by which transport of materials takes place in plants is by diffusion, when it is mainly a gaseous exchange and when the transfer is taking place through the cell wall, or it can be called osmosis when there is a selective membrane present in between and the selective membrane tries to choose the materials that have to pass through. Then there is another method which is the active transport. Active transport is actually the utilization of energy for transport of materials against a gradient. Gradient means where we have comparison of two substances. Now, first of all, we will see how water is transported inside the plant body. Three basic methods are used by the plant, and you get this question off and on, how is water taken up by the roots of plants. So basically we have three main pathways. We will see the diagram of these pathways by which water is absorbed by the plant roots from the soil. First is the Apoplast pathway. I will tell you what Apoplast pathway is. Then is the Symplast pathway, and then is the Peculiar pathway. Okay. Then after that, we will also be discussing the water potential, but that will be in a different lecture. First of all, let us discuss these introductory concepts. Okay. Mineral absorption by roots. Minerals are required by plants and they are absorbed by the roots as all the minerals are dissolved in water. आपको पता है plants need micro and molecules हैं, macro molecules हैं, and all these, most of them, they are dissolved in water. And the minerals in plants, they are actually utilized in various metabolic processes, and they are also used as coenzymes. So these minerals are very, very essential, and in case a deficiency of these minerals occurs inside the plant, then a situation which is known as deficiency disease arises. The plants synthesize all the required nutrients by absorbing minerals from the soil. Nutrients कौन से हैं? Proteins हैं, carbohydrates हैं, और vitamins हैं. ये सारे वो nutrients हैं जिनको के plants जो हैं वो अपने लिए use करते हैं. Roots का main function क्या है? The roots provide extensive surface area for maximum absorption. Now, the main processes that are involved in absorption by roots, there are mainly two main processes, that is diffusion and osmosis, by which the main materials are absorbed. Lekin here we have broken them down according to the basic definitions. Active transport, where energy is used. Passive transport, where energy is not utilized. Diffusion, where a membrane is present in between, but that membrane is not selective. That membrane, you can say can be the cell wall. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद facilitated diffusion, जहां पर आपके पास the material, the molecule that has to cross the membrane is so large, तो उसको help करने के लिए आपके पास जो है वो facilitation के लिए हमारे पास जो है we have molecules. Active transport, water is absorbed due to activities going on in the roots. Absorption of water occurs with the help of energy in the form of ATP in active transport. And this occurs when absorption takes place against the concentration gradient. That is, water molecule moves from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration, even when the concentration of cell sap is lower than that of the soil water. मतलब cell sap के अंदर solutes कम हैं, ये dilute हैं as compared to the cell water against the concentration gradient. Next आपके पास है passive transport, which is the exact opposite of active transport. It is just along the concentration gradient, the conventional process of diffusion. It does not require any energy. इसकी बात कर रहे हैं हम passive transport. Osmosis. Osmosis is also a type of diffusion, but in osmosis we have a selective membrane, which is in most cases, which is the cell membrane. It does not require any cellular energy, hence it is also considered as a type of passive transport. Now look here, this is simple diffusion where no selection is taking place. This is selective diffusion, in which it has to pass through a pore, a checkpoint. This is active transport. देखिए यहाँ पर ये कम है, यहाँ पर ये ज़्यादा है, और ये against the concentration gradient जा रहा है. This requires a lot of energy. जैसे कि पानी, it flows downhill आराम से, लेकिन आपको नीचे से पानी ऊपर खींचना है तो आपको एनर्जी लगानी पड़ेगी. ठीक है, आपको फोर्स लगानी पड़ती है. Now look here, along the gradient यहाँ ज़्यादा है, यहाँ कम है. ये देखिए along the gradient यहाँ ज़्यादा है, यहाँ कम है. इसमें ये है कि देखें मॉलिक्यूल्स भी जो है ना आपके पास जो है वो जा रहे हैं, शुगर मॉलिक्यूल्स भी हैं, और आपके पास यहाँ पर वो भी है, अपने पास वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स जो हैं वो भी प्रेजेंट है. ओके. Role of roots in the transport of minerals. Roots are actually underground structures present in the plants. The main function of the roots are anchorage, and the another function is absorption of water and holding the plants fastly or tightly inside the soil. Roots, the cell wall of the roots, they have extensions which are called root hairs, which serve to increase the surface area of the plant. And this surface area, ये देखिए, ये roots है, and ये extensions of the cell wall of the roots है. These are known as a root hair. These are totally, they allow everything to absorb through. So through the root hairs, diffusion takes place. The root hairs collectively provide a very large surface area for absorption process. The root hairs are almost always turgid because the water potential, the amount of water present, the pressure applied by water is greater in them than the soil. Once in the roots, the ions are transported via the xylem through the plants. In some plants, we have associated fungi, which are known as mycorrhizal fungi. Mycorrhizal fungi और भी ज़्यादा surface area को increase कर देते हैं. They increase the surface area manifold. And what are they helpful in? Mycorrhizal fungi, especially nutrient uptake में और जो है ना molecular uptake में बहुत ज़्यादा help करते हैं. And especially कौन सा वाला? Phosphorus में mycorrhizal fungi बहुत ज़्यादा help करते हैं. Water is absorbed in the roots by three main pathways. The Apoplast pathway, which is through the cell wall and the spaces between the cells. The Symplast pathway, Sim से cytoplasm याद रखिए. in which absorption takes place through the cytoplasm and through the plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are connecting bridges between two cells. And then the vacuolar pathway, the transport takes place from vacuole to vacuole of neighboring cells. ठीक हो गई बात? चलें जी, ये देखिए, ये आपका एपोप्लास्ट पाथवे है, ये along the cell wall. This is the plasmodesmata. ये this is a simplest pathway from cytoplasm to cytoplasm. And this is the vacuolar pathway, which is also called the transmembrane route from vacuole to vacuole. ठीक हो गई बात? चलिए जी, ये देखें दोबारा से आ गया। ये ब्लू आपके पास एपोप्लास्ट पाथवे है, ये आपके पास ये ऑरेंज सा जो है दिस इज द सिम्प्लास्ट पाथवे। यहाँ पर आपके पास देखें एंडोडर्मिस के अंदर दीज आर कैस्पेरियन स्ट्रिप्स। कैस्पेरियन स्ट्रिप्स विल ब्लॉक द एपोप्लास्ट पाथवे। Water has to change route when it reaches the Casparian strips. क्योंकि Casparian strips जहाँ पर होंगी वहाँ पर cell wall, these are made up of stony materials, पानी यहाँ से नहीं गुजर सकता, तो pathway change होगा और symplasm में या vacuolar में ये enter हो जाएंगे। Journey of water from the soil to the epidermis, cortex, endodermis, pericycle and then to the xylem. ठीक है, देखिए soil, epidermis, cortex, endodermis. Endodermis में आपके पास Casparian strips हैं, endodermis बाहर है, फिर pericycle है, the first layer of the cells of the endodermis, and then we have the xylem. ठीक है, and then water uptake ये हम किसी और लेक्चर में पढ़ेंगे. In the endodermis, the passage of water through the cell walls, apoplast pathway, is blocked by the Casparian strips. Water molecules must pass through the cell membranes and protoplasts of the endodermal cells to reach the xylem. तो कैसे होगा? साइटोप्लाज्म के अंदर जाएंगे और साइटोप्लाज्म से फिर प्लाज्मोडेस्माटा या वैक्यूलर पाथवे को क्रॉस करेंगे। ठीक है, ये देखिए, ये आपके पास रूट हेयर है, देखिए एक्सटेंशन ऑफ द सेल वॉल है, सरफेस एरिया इंक्रीज है, एपिडर्मल सेल्स हैं, प्लाज्मोडेस्माटा है, ये कैस्पेरियन स्ट्रिप्स हैं, ये पेरिसाइकिल है। ठीक है, एंडोडर्मल सिलेंडर को कहते हैं स्टील या वेस्कुलर सिलेंडर। ये इसमें वेस्कुलर, दिस कॉल्ड द स्टील और द वेस्कुलर सिलेंडर। एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चन है। ये कॉर्टेक्स है और ये एपिडर्मिस। चलिए जी, ये हो गया आज का हमारा लेक्चर। कल इंशाल्लाह हम लोग जो हैं वी विल स्टडी अबाउट वाटर पोटेंशियल, और वाटर पोटेंशियल में क्या चीज़ है नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में जो है इसको मैं आप लोगों को बताऊंगी। एक दफ़ा आप लोगों को ये देखें, ये नंबर 1 है, ये रेड, देखिए ये रेड नंबर 1 है। अब ये रेड नंबर 1 क्या है? Uptake of soil solution by the hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means water-loving walls of the root hairs provides access to the apoplast. Water and minerals can then soak into the cortex along this matrix of walls. ये देखें, from the cell wall थोड़ा सा अंदर cytoplasm में भी water जा सकता है। बहरहाल when the Casparian strips come, then all the water has to shift into the cytoplasm. Number 2, ये देखें, minerals and water that cross the plasma membrane of the root hairs enters the simplest. Cell membrane cross क्या? अब ये देखिए नंबर 3 कहाँ पर है? नंबर 3, as the soil solution moves along this apoplast pathway, some of the minerals are transported into the protoplast of the cells and of the epidermis cortex, and then the move. ये number 3, this is number 3. ये some move inward. Then number 4, within the transversal radial walls of the endodermal cell is the Casparian strip. Number 4, Casparian strip. A belt of waxy material, the purple band, this is the Casparian strip that blocks the passage of water and dissolved material along the cell wall. Only minerals already present in the symplast or entering the pathway by crossing the plasma membrane can pass the Casparian strip into the vascular cylinder या steel, ये मैंने आप लोगों को बताया। ठीक है। नंबर 5 क्या है? एंडोडर्मल सेल्स आर आल्सो पेरेन्काइमस सेल्स विद इन द वेस्कुलर डिस्चार्ज वाटर एंड मिनरल्स इनटू द वॉल्स। ठीक है, यहाँ से फिर दोबारा से वापस आप एपोप्लास्ट में आ जाते हैं। द जाइलम वेसल्स ट्रांसपोर्ट द वाटर एंड मिनरल्स अपवर्ड, ये जाइलम वेसल्स शिफ्ट द वाटर अप। चलें जी, ये हो गया हमारा आज का लेक्चर। कल इंशाल्लाह हम लोग वाटर पोटेंशियल पढ़ेंगे। सी यू पीपल नेक्स्ट टाइम। अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा और चैनल पे रहिए और वीडियोस देखिए और खूब पढ़िए। बेस्ट ऑफ लक, सी यू नेक्स्ट टाइम।